Hi, second grade. Welcome to Unit 2, Writing Lesson 1. During Unit 2, we're going to continue to do opinion writing, writing where we tell others what we think, feel, or believe about a topic. Except this time, we get to do a really fun new way of writing. We're going to write letters. Letters are a way to share your thoughts with someone who may not be sitting right next to you. Kind of like in Click Clack Moo Cows That Type, when the cows wanted to share their thoughts with the farmer. They wrote their letter by saying who the letter was to, dear Farmer Brown, saying what they thought, the barn is very cold at night, we'd like some electric blankets, and then they wrapped it up by saying sincerely, which is just another way of saying I really feel this way, and then who it was from, the cows. Letter writing is a great way to share your thoughts with someone who may not be right next to you at the time. We're going to be using letter writing to share our opinion about books. And over the next few days, I'm going to show you some different ways that you can uncover your opinion about the books you're reading. Today, we're going to be thinking about characters and learning how to share our opinions about the characters in the books we read. Our goal for today is I can write a letter that introduces a character and explains my opinion about them. Let's get started. When you do opinion letter writing, it doesn't matter that it's in the form of a letter. We still use all of these strategies that we just learned about opinion writing to write the letter. Your letter is going to start with a bold opinion, saying what you think or feel. It's going to be followed by reasons, so why you think or feel that way. You're going to back it up with examples and details to prove those reasons or support those reasons. And you're going to give it an ending that reminds the reader of what you believe. Today, as we're uncovering our opinion about books by thinking about characters, there's a couple of steps you can follow to do this work. First, you're going to think about a character you know and love from books you've recently read. You don't want to write an opinion letter about a book you don't care about or a character you don't care about. You won't have a lot of reasons. So think about one that you love. Then you're going to ask yourself, why do I love this character? And answer with, because they are a character who, just like we did in Module A when we were thinking about characters. So now we're going to do it for writing. I love this character because it's a character who, blank. Then you're going to, across your fingers, list reasons why. So using details that prove your character is that kind of character. Why do you think your character is funny? Why do you think your character is creative? So list those reasons across your fingers. If you can't think of several reasons, it's probably not the best character for you to write about. Once you've done all that thinking and planning work, it's time to put your pen to paper. First, you're going to pick a person to write to. You can write to anyone, someone in your family, someone in your classroom, someone at your school, and you'll start it by saying, dear, and then the person's name. You put a comma after it to show that you're finished with your greeting and you're moving into your letter. Then you write your big, bold opinion sentence and reasons and examples just like we've already learned. There's a different way to wrap up a letter. You end your letter with a word like sincerely, just like the cows did in their book. Sincerely means I really mean what I just said. And you finish it by signing your name at the bottom. I'm going to show you how to do this work with Yasmin.
Okay, writers, I want to show you how I do this using a character of Yasmin. Now, I know I look a little funny because I had to put my headphones on and switch to a different video camera, but I love that you are creative second graders, and we're going to focus on our learning and not on how silly Mrs. Bartlett looks. All right, so the first thing I need to do is think about a character you know and love from the books we've read, right? So I did that work by thinking of Yasmin because I love Yasmin. Then I need to go to step 2. Ask myself, why do I love that character? I'm going to answer with because they are the kind of character who. So why do I love Yasmin? Well, I love Yasmin because she is the kind of character who is very creative. Now I have to move on to step 3. Across your fingers, tell why. Well, I think that Yasmin is creative because first she solved her problem creatively when she used her map, right, to get out, to get when she was lost. Then I also think she was creative because she can take splashes of paint and turn it into a really cool drawing. And then finally, I think that she is creative because she can take something that looks bad, like a ripped piece of cloth, and turn it into something fun like a fashion show. So those are my reasons why. Now I can move on to step 4. Pick a person you want to write to and begin writing your opinion letter with Dear Person. I'm going to write to my daughter, Zoe, because she's been so helpful to me right now. So I'm going to write to her. So now I'm ready to put my pen to my paper and start writing. When you write a letter, you start with a greeting like that, Dear Zoe. When I write that, I write Dear Zoe, and I put a comma. Notice how my dear is a capital D and my Zoe has a capital Z. That's because when you do a greeting, you capitalize the first letter of the words, and Zoe's a name, so it's always capital. You put a comma to show that that's the end of your greeting and move underneath. Then I do my big, bold opinion, just like we've been practicing throughout Module C. My bold opinion is I love the character of Yasmin because she is so creative. Notice that's how I think or feel about Yasmin. That's what makes that my opinion. You might disagree. You might think Yasmin is not creative, and that's okay because that would be your opinion. So I'm going to write my opinion next. When I write my opinion, I go underneath my greeting and get started. I love Yasmin because she is so creative. And I'm going to put an exclamation point because I think that's pretty awesome. I love Yasmin because she is so creative. Now, I know that my handwriting is really big. It's so that you can see it on the video. When you're writing on your paper, you might not make your words quite that big. I love Yasmin because she is so creative. Then I would go on and I would list my reasons why. My first reason is because she can solve problems in a creative way. My second reason is because she can take splashes of paint and turn them into beautiful drawings. And my third reason is she can take a problem like something that got ripped and turn it into something fun like a fashion show. Those would be my reasons. I'm not going to write them now. We'll go back and write them later. But I do want to show you how I close or end this type of writing, which is step number 5. End your letter with sincerely, kind of like the cows did. Sincerely just means I really mean that. So the way you do that is you go to the line, you make it capital, sincerely, you put another comma, and then underneath you sign your name. Now think about who you're writing to. I'm writing to Zoe, who is my daughter, so I'm going to sign it like this. Mom. If I was writing to a student, I would sign it Mrs. Bartlett. If I was writing it to a friend, I would just use my name. That's how you can share your opinion with others, what you think and feel in the form of a letter.
All right, writers, now it's time for your turn to try this work. You're going to follow the steps we've already talked about. Think about a character you know and love from the books we've recently read. Ask yourself, why do I love this character? And answer with, because they are the kind of character who. Then, across your fingers, you're going to list reasons why, details from the text that prove that that character is the kind of character you're thinking of. Support your opinion. You're going to pick a person to write to, and you're going to write them a letter. You're going to start with Dear and name the person. Then you're going to do your big, bold opinion sentence and your reasons and examples and details, just like you already know how to do. You're going to end it up by saying sincerely, comma, and put your name underneath. Okay, writers, head off, make some great opinion letters, and head back to the Nearpod whenever you are finished with your independent writing time. Remember, you don't have to finish the entire letter today. Just get started on it because we'll continue working on it tomorrow. Have fun!